Hi everybody, my name is Molly Jameson, and for our final project, I decided to study the effects electric cars had on the environment. So first, I just put a quick little table of contents together, just so everybody knows what we'll be going through on this presentation. So first, we'll be explaining the problem that we see in our environment. Then we'll be explaining the solution to the problem, which will be the electric cars. We'll be talking about political problems as well as economic problems, and then the pros and cons of owning an electric car. So first, the explanation of the problem. One of the major problems in our environment is the carbon dioxide in our air, which is caused by fumes from gasoline and other substances that leak into the air when we drive cars. When a study was conducted, it was found that 33% of carbon dioxide emissions come from people using cars or other vehicles. This means trains, buses, motorcycles, all the other vehicle or ways of transportation that we use. The amount of pollution that it does to our environment is shocking when we look at the effects it has, and also on human health as well. Another factor is the idea of climate change and how this could have a huge impact on it. When particles like these are going into the air quality worsens, making the air we breathe in not completely healthy. So now here's the solution to our problem. Electric cars are the answer. When we take these particles that are affecting our air off the road and replacing them with an affordable and better alternative car, the level of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere will go down, which will help the environment in several ways. The more people start using electric cars, the more these harmful substances will get out of our environment and air. The main goal is to make our air quality better for the environment, but also us humans as well. What we are breathing in right now is not exactly healthy, and we must start using these cars as a first step to improve that. So here is the political problems that come with electric cars. With every solution to help the environment, it turns political some way. Currently, there is a debate whether or not that this will actually help climate change or if it's a hoax. With the amount of studies that prove that using electric cars has been shown over and over, politically it has been something like people just don't agree about. Some arguments include that it would only make a significant difference if all cars were to turn electric, but to say that it's already making a change is where the argument lands. In an article titled, "There's One Big Problem with Electric Cars," it was sarcastically stated, "To deal with an expensive, dangerous, extremely resource intense machine that has helped bring about the destruction of the planet, let's all buy this new version which runs on a different fuel." So that's kind of just a sentence I took from that article as a way to show how sarcastic people are with when people are think that just because you buy one electric car doesn't mean you're immediately helping the environment. The writer explained that throughout this article that the studies contradicted themselves when it stated facts when it came to helping the environment. So economic problems include just the simple fact that electric cars are more expensive to start off. And they are more expensive than the average car, again, just to, when you immediately buy the car. The average new car in the US is approximately $32,000. Meanwhile, the average cost of an electric car is $58,000. Like we see, this is a very significant difference between the two prices. Economically, people may not be able to afford the cost of getting the car, as if they might think that gasoline cars or other types of transportation are cheaper. Next is the charging stations. When I started doing a lot of research about this, I found that it was almost worth it to purchase, if you had the money, purchase the charging stations because of how time consuming the charging takes. At an average price, a charging station can cost approximately $10,000. Now, that might sound expensive, but if you were to add up all the money you spent in gas per year, it definitely wouldn't be a small number. And I don't know if it would be that high, but it definitely wouldn't be far off. And just some pros and cons about electric cars. Some of the pros include that electric cars will reduce the amount of carbon dioxide emissions in the air. There are many debates going on currently about this, but studies have shown, whether or not you're on one side of the debate or the other, studies have shown that it will reduce that carbon dioxide emissions in the air. Overall, it is cheaper in the long run when you compare the prices of gas and repair cost. Um, it's just that upfront price that is a little bit more pricey. Harmful substances that are affecting our environment will come to an end, hopefully, and also it will help with climate change. And some of the cons could be, like I said, they are expensive up front, with the car itself and the charging stations. And there is still a lot of research theories that need to be conducted, just simply because of the fact that they haven't been around as long as, the other cars that we've been able to see the effects that it had on the environment. And I spoke about this a little bit before, but another con that I think stands out for me is pumping a full tank of gas should take between 3 and 5 minutes at the most. Um, but when you have an electric car that needs charging, it takes anywhere from 4 hours to 21 hours, depending on the make and the model of your car. Um, which is making it almost impossible not to have that charging station at your residence. Of course, you could charge it for, an hour or two, but for that full charge, it's going to take hours to conduct. And here are my citations. Thank you.